Defiant Central American migrants from the sprawling human caravan snaking north through Mexico taunted President Trump and vowed to continue their push towards the U.S., declaring, "We'll see you soon, Mr. President." And they told DailyMail.com about the reality of what Trump called the strong immigration laws of Mexico, revealing that in fact they were being given 20 or even 30-day passes to travel freely and told to report to immigration centers, which the U.S. border.Far from being broken up, as Trump claimed on Thursday morning. The caravan was being helped on its way to Mexico City with coaches, which arrived not long after he tweeted. And while Mexican officials had encouraged it to disperse, they did so by giving permits to stay in the country without asking a single question about gangs and crimes. Organizers, Pueblo Sin Fronteras, people without borders, say they will only go as far as Mexico City, where the lucha movement, Spanish for fight, will disband, rather than march to the border. But many of the 1,000 or so migrants, the majority fleeing gang-plagued Honduras, told Daily Mail. They faced persecution or death if they returned to their homeland and would press ahead to the U.S.regardless. It's his country. Senor Trump can do what he wants to. He can put as much military on the border as he likes, said Jose Acosta, a 35-year-old farmer escaping violence in the Honduran city of Morazán. But when it comes to it, I will cross the border. I can assure you that I'm going to get into the U.S. I have faith in God. His determination was echoed by Salvadoran national Marvin Geovanni Alvarez, 39, who lived illegally in Atlanta, Georgia, for a year before he was deported in 2013, wrenching him away from his wife Daisy, 36, and sons, Marvin, 20, and 18-year Gerardo. Trump is crazy. He's racist. The National Guard doesn't worry me, it's all bulls, he told Daily Mail. I'll be reunited with my family.See you soon, Mr. President. Alvarez's harrowing backstory is typical of many of the hundreds of disheveled migrants sheltering in dilapidated locker rooms or laying under trees or tarps inside the blisteringly hot Victor F. Flores Morales Sports Center in the rural town of Matias Romero.He was targeted by MS-13 gangsters after returning to El Salvador, stabbed 3 times, once in the head, and warned he would be murdered if he didn't join up. If they see me again, they kill me. The gangs are even here in Mexico.So tomorrow I go to the United States, nobody is going to stop me, he vowed. The Refugee Caravan 2018 set out en masse from the southern Mexican border city of Tapachula on March 25, the majority traveling on foot with a few smaller groups hitchhiking, hopping on buses or clinging to the roofs of trains. Similar caravans have crossed Mexico for the past several years, but organizers say political unrest in the wake of a contentious November election in neighboring Honduras has swelled numbers from several hundred to more than 1,000. Even so, the event passed largely unnoticed until Trump, apparently responding to a news segment on Fox News, denounced the migrants as dangerous and implored Congress to toughen immigration laws before they swamp the U. He also warned the Mexican government he would cut off trade talks if they didn't halt the caravan, which even if it's reached the border, would make up just a small proportion of the roughly 30,000 people caught trying to sneak across every month. The migrants had traipsed unimpeded past Mexican police checkpoints and military bases until reaching Matias Romero at the weekend, where organizers herded them towards the largely dilapidated public sports complex that has been their bustling, sun-baked HQ since the weekend. Since then, the bedraggled travelers have bedded down in crowded corridors, under bleachers or beneath tarps draped over swings, using a putrid-smelling stream for a toilet and surviving on donations of food, water and clothing from local townspeople. With barely any police on hand and just a handful of official organizers, 15 or so migrants have donned neon vests and are charged with keeping order across the bustling camp, which spans several soccer fields, a swimming pool and a baseball field. Mexican immigration officials have visited each day inviting migrants to apply for transit permits granting them anything from a month to a year to officially apply for asylum. The move was hailed by Trump in two different tweets as evidence that he had forced the Mexicans to use their strong immigration laws against the caravan. But migrants told DailyMail.com it was surprisingly easy to secure temporary permits allowing them to stay in the country, the majority for a 30-day window. The documents say they have to make an appointment to the closest immigration center to their place of residence, but do not list any restrictions on travel or forbid them from heading towards the U.S. Salvadoran national William Castillo, 42, waited 20 minutes to speak with agents from Mexico's Instituto Nacional de Migración who came to the camp Wednesday. They checked his passport and asked a handful of questions before issuing the single-page documents to him, his wife Ana Maria Hernandez, 30, and their 8-year-old son, Christian Daniel. They asked basic information, where we are from, where we plan to stay. They didn't ask any questions about gangs or crimes, he told Daily Mail. We had no idea what to expect, but it was not a tough process to get the documents. Nothing has been easy in this journey, but this was surprisingly smooth. This isn't a pass to let us stay forever, this is to make a meeting. We have 30 days. If we don't, they deport us. There are Instituto Nacional de Migración centers in most major Mexican cities and 21 stationed along the U.S.-Mexican border. Castillo says he plans to apply for asylum in Mexico rather than attempt to cross to the U.S. but he added, "They didn't say anything about where I could or couldn't go." As Trump tweeted on Thursday morning that the caravan was largely broken up, part of it was being helped to move north far more rapidly. A fleet of buses arrived at the sports complex offering migrants wanting to travel to Pueblo 400 Mexican pesos, $22, ride. There were no police or immigration officials present. Puebla, just south of Mexico City, is where activists will hold a rally Friday and provide free access to immigration lawyers to help them apply for asylum in either Mexico or the U.S. The caravan will then officially disband, although Irineo Mujica Arzate, the group's Mexico coordinator, predicted around 20% of the migrants could push on unsupervised. He told DailyMail.com the caravan was organized each year to highlight the plight of desperate Central American immigrants, not to storm the U.S. border, and laughed off the idea they were a threat to the American people. That is ridiculous. It is worthy of a movie. Only a fraction of those people will actually make it across the border. It's highly militarized as it is, said Mujica Arzate. As usual, Donald Trump plays the politics of fear. The brownies are coming to get us. We have 400 women and 300 kids here. They may throw a ball or point a toy gun at someone. That's about as dangerous as it gets. These people are fleeing the same gangs that Trump is worried about. Among those waiting anxiously for the caravan to move is Alfredo Munoz, 22, who is yet to secure temporary paperwork for his wife Carolina, 21, son Edhin, 2, and 4-year-old daughter, Daly. He says he's desperate to reach the U.S., but knows his family will make easy pickings for cartel robbers and kidnappers unless they travel with others for security. As Munoz talks, he pulls back his little girl's mousy brown hair to reveal a bullet wound at the base of her skull. She has a corresponding exit wound on her left cheek, a chilling reminder of when masked gangsters sprayed bullets at his front door in Colon, Honduras. The gangsters want to own everyone, but I said no. They beat me up. They threatened my wife, he told Daily Mail. They came at night and fired 25 times into the house. They hit my daughter in the back of the head, but somehow she survived. We've been traveling now for 10 to 11 days, walking 4 hours a day. It was a hard decision because I knew my family would suffer. Someone robbed our bag of medicine. There's no way we can stay in Mexico though. The gangs can still get us here. We have to carry on until we reach the US. The alternative is death. Fleeing similar violence is Chanel Smith, a trans woman who decided to leave the Honduran capital, Tegucigalpa, after she was shot 3 times in the street. A 26-year-old teacher, she entered Mexico legally, but joined the caravan because it meant she could travel north in safety and gain access to lawyers. Gangs target the trans community to move their drugs because they are particularly vulnerable. If you say no, this is what happens, she tells DailyMail.com, revealing a 12-inch scar across her stomach and a similarly shocking wound along her left forearm. I was waiting for a taxi when a man walked up to me and fired a pistol 3 times. I was hit in the arms and the chest. Any of the bullets passed through my heart. I was in a coma for 3 days. I don't know if it was the police or the gangs. They are as bad as each other. They never caught them. They did nothing. That's when I knew I had to leave. Despite Trump's repeated warnings about unchecked immigration, data issued by U.S. Customs and Border Protection reveals that the number of migrants caught trying to cross the border fell to a low of 15,700 in April. The figure was as high under as 42,400 in January 2017 under the Obama administration. Despite the huge influx of migrants into their town, the people of Matias Romero, population 38,000, appear to have rallied around them, with locals donating water, rice, beans and old clothes. "We are not a charity, we are not a church.We just live here, and we want to help," said Daniela Talento, 24, as she served steaming bowls of salchicha and rice from the back of a gray pickup truck. She and 10 members of her family spent hours cooking up the spicy sausage and potato stew to feed the hungry newcomers. "Does this look like an army? I don't think so. They are very welcome here. They have done nothing wrong." It's stupidity. Without similar acts of kindness from complete strangers, 21-year-old Delmi Castro, a slender mother of 2 from Honduras, says she would never have had the fortitude to travel 260 miles, or an estimated 86 hours, on foot. She managed it despite having to carry her 2 kids, 8-month-old Brian Michael and Jose Manuel, 3, as well as a couple of bags of their belongings. "My partner is in jail, and I'm trying to get to my sister in the United States. It's been extremely hard. I'm alone, my feet ache, my kids have fevers." "But in the cities we passed through, the people had big hearts and they gave us food," she said. "We are not happy, we are suffering so much. But I'll do anything to give my children, God permitting, a better life."